A wild rugby game at Maryland Soccerplex, Germantown, Maryland, against Old Glory DC and Miami Sharks. And the Miami Sharks were looking to get on the winning streak once again, to get back on track, to try to get some points in and move up to the Eastern Conference. But here's our problem. We face Old Glory DC on a road. And all MLR was talking about is what happened in week one. Yes, week one was as devastating of a loss in franchise history. To be frank with you, it was only the first game, and that loss hurts. We remember. We absolutely freaking remember that game. So the Sharks looked to conquer the demons against Old Glory. Did they do that? Why, yes, they did. Yes, they did. And let's talk how they did it. So, not a good start for the Sharks already. Kubeli was going to the sin bin for a yellow card. I think there was a high tackle, which is almost towards the head area, which is a yellow. And then now we're shorthanded as Old Glory was able to score very quickly. Humphreys was get that try. Emery with a 2-point conversion. It is a 7-0 Old Glory lead. But a response try by the Sharks. McNulty with the try to make it 7-5, and O'Leary he hardly misses anything. He makes it 7-7. He ties it up. But then the second try came at this, which was Elias getting a try at the 13th minute, and that was just a beauty try, a really good try there to make this, to take the lead for the Sharks. He had to fight his way to it, and that try was just absolutely organized. O'Leary with the 2-point conversion to make it 14-7. We're up by a touchdown now. Then the 20th minute, Orlando has gone in the middle, and he gets an automatic 7 try, which is beauty, which is an absolute beauty of a plan there to get the automatic 7. They were threatening at the try line, and they were good. They were absolutely good. But then 2 minutes later, another try scored. Basically, the kickoff was kickoff, and it went right back to the hands of the Miami Sharks, and they scored almost instantly, capitalized on the DC mistake, and Kobila was able to score that try. An amazing half by the Sharks, but I can't really get too excited quite yet, could I? But O'Leary makes the 2-point conversion. It's now 28-7. 28-7. Sharks. Where have we seen this before? Then in the 26th minute, a yellow card has been shown to Old Glory. There was a penalty against them, and I think it has something to do with another high tech. I forgot what happened, but he got a yellow. He got a yellow card off of that. He was sent to the sin bin, and Miami with the chance to score some tries that could be capitalized. So, Old Glory commits a penalty, not releasing the player, I think. And O'Leary gets that penalty kicked. It's now 31-7. But before the halftime starts, Naquali, if I said it right, scores a try there for DC. Emery with the 2-point conversion. He came back out of the 10-minute sin bin. It is now 14-31, Sharks lead, and that's a halftime score. 31-14 Sharks lead. Where have we seen this type of thing before? We got to the second half of this game, and all I felt was a little bit of a discomfort, because this is unsettling, because knowing the Sharks and knowing all Miami sports teams really is that they hardly were able to hold on to the lead, and they were showing signs. They were showing signs of it already. Greg gets a try in the 49th minute, so that is not good news at all. Emery with the 2-point conversion. It became a 31-21 game. So we're up by 10 points at this point. In between, though, the Sharks got a try. The Sharks were able to get a try at this one. I forgot who it was. I think it was old McNulty, number 11 at the team. Number 11 at the team scores a try for the Sharks. What should have been 36-21 Sharks was disallowed because at the scrum, they were looking at TMO. And at the scrum, they looked at us and saw that there was a knock-on. What? There was a knock-on? To be fair, while this was going on, Inter-Miami game was going on, so all the craziness was happening. It was kind of hard to keep up. But there was a knock-on at the scrum, and it was a successful Miami Sharks scrum, too. Where was the knock-on? I don't like that call. So they disallowed that try for a knock-on that was not that good. Old Glory was threatening, though. Old Glory was trying to get to the try line. They kicked the ball out of bounds, not the way that they intended. So the Sharks were going to line out. And that had to be one of the worst lineouts I've seen of all time. Because that was a high throw, and Old Glory DC player was able to get that pretty easily, and they gave it to Gaddis. Gaddis was able to score on that try. Good lineout, Sharks. That was a really good lineout, and I say those in a sarcastic manner. That lineout should not have happened to begin with, and that was a bad throw. I'm sorry, that was a horrible throw. Went over at the player, and Old Glory was able to score off of that lineout. My God. Emery scores a 2-point conversion, and now just like that, we're only up by 3 points. 3 flipping points. And I'm thinking, here we go again. And there's 20 minutes left of the game, too. Here we go again. But then DC commits a penalty. O'Leary gets an honor at the penalty kick. And he scores that penalty kick. So we're up by 6. Not the dagger that we need, though. It's 34-28. However, though, from this point forward, the Miami's defense was really good, stopping the threatening Old Glory team, trying to milk that clock down. But then the Sharks in the 70th minute were very threatening to try to get that walk-off, not the walk-off, but a try that will give them a very good comfort to win this game. And then there was a wide open chance from O'Leary, and he tries a drop kick, and he missed that kick to the left. He just missed it to the left, but then there was a penalty on Old Glory. So O'Leary was able to get that kick. To be honest here, I'm not quite sure what was the penalty, what happened. But O'Leary was able to kick the penalty kick, and he was scoring that penalty. He was scoring the kick anyway. So that drop kick didn't matter much because that penalty kick happened, and it's now 37-28 Miami lead. With 7 minutes left, very comfortable to take this now. Until it wasn't. McDonald with a high hitting tackle, no mitigation to intent to get that egregious foul, so no red card. But either way, even if he got a red card, he was still done for the game because it's below 10 minutes. So McDonald gets a yellow card and draws to the sin bin. And DC was threatening already. They were close to the try line very quickly. But Miami's defense were that good to stop them right there. They milked the clock. The scrum took too long. And it mattered a lot to us. We had a 9-point advantage. And even if they score a try in the 80th plus minutes, we would still win this game. Then Mora gets another yellow card. He gets sent off with the sin bin in the 80th minute. So now the Sharks are down 2 men for the rest of the game. Old Glory was still threatening. And they would eventually be able to push to get that try. It was almost an automatic 7, but it was just at the right side of the post. Daniel was able to score this try at the 80th plus 2 at the stoppage. 37-33. Emery scores a 2-point conversion to make it 37-35. And thankfully, though, it was too late. That comeback was too late as that would be your final score, 37-35 Miami Sharks, and they did that at their territory. At their territory. What now? The week one loss was still as dreadful as it is, but we can finally get past that, as they were able to take down Old Glory at their own stadium, at their own soccerplex, their community field in Maryland, and stop them from making that freaking comeback again, which was unsettling to say the least. You usually don't feel comfortable and don't feel good about anything that regards to the late comebacks like that. But they got the job done, as right now we're still in 5th in the Eastern Conference, but we're right behind NOLA Gold, who we beat early in the season. I think NOLA Gold has lost. They did lose. They lost to the SaberCats. So Eastern Conference is going to be a little bit tighter. We have a big opportunity next week on Sunday. Sunday, the 27th, they play against Anthem. You have to beat Anthem. I gotta be honest. I'm a little bit worried about this one. Anthem play with desperation, playing like they have nothing to lose, and they do, and they don't have nothing to lose. But Anthem came close a few times since our encounter to getting the first win of their franchise, and they the closest they have gotten was actually against not Atlanta, Houston. They were very, very close of beating Houston. But then a bad call, and then Houston was able to pull off a very, very scary game. So do not take Anthem lightly. Do not go through the humiliation, because that would absolutely suck. Beat Anthem, and we might be more comfortable. So they changed the time for next week. This game is now at 9 o'clock. This game is at 9 o'clock next week on Sunday. So it's like a West Coast type of thing. Because what's going on, because Inter Miami has the CONCACAF, they pushed the game against FC Dallas to 5 o'clock. Because originally the Inter Miami game was going to be on Saturday, but because of the CONCACAF semifinals against Vancouver, the Inter Miami game would be pushed towards Sunday to give them more of a rest, and then the Wednesday game for the second leg. That means they had to change the time for the Miami Sharks and Anthem game as well. This was originally a 5 o'clock game, as far as I remember. 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock. It didn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters now is they changed the time to 9 o'clock. And I think now I look at it, with Inter Miami and the Sharks, it makes total sense. It makes total sense, because you want to give more time for the fans to leave the stadium and have other fans come back, or the fans who, if I was there personally, I could just walk across the streets up in the north side to just walk there. It really doesn't matter to me. And if those people, if you're that kind of fan, it really wouldn't matter to you anyway. But yeah, man, it makes sense to do that. I just, 9 o'clock, though, that's going to be rough. That's going to be rough, but I can understand why, though, because of the situation with Inter Miami. But regardless of the time, the clock of the game, you have to take Anthem seriously. Beat Anthem to get back in the playoff position, and maybe, just maybe, you might be able to have a shot there. But you got to beat Anthem and keep going on that winning streak. And this was good. Being Old Glory was good. We can finally get that bullshit off our backs with week one type of thing. And yeah, man, I'll take this win any day, any freaking day, man. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it with this one. And Sharks, you're the only one left. Poster, I'm glad you reached out to me, though. I'm glad you reached out to me with the poster type of thing. I can't wait. 22x34. 22x34. Right up here, I can put that literally right next to the Marlins poster, and I am all set. I do have one more poster, but I want to wait. I want to wait to put the Sharks one first, and then put the next poster up. I can't wait to put it up. I really can't wait. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe for content, because Miami TV is back. And when he does, he'll be right there with the free entertainment you deserve. Tomorrow, we're gonna do a Miami Heat preview, and hopefully I can do a recap game, because I am going to go to visit family, because tomorrow's Easter. So yeah, man, that's gonna do it. I'll see you guys next time. Audio. Go Sharks, go.